So, after reviewing 40 episodes of this show, I stuck with it for 40 episodes. Was it all worth it in the end? Let's find out. Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for the season finale of Big Brother 16, episode 40. And it's been a long season, guys. Guys, it has been such a long season. 40 episodes, like, that is a lot. They did not have to do as many episodes as they, should have. I feel like next year they definitely need to cut it down because at this point they're interfering with the fall schedule. If they don't get good ratings, it's pretty much their fault because they prolong this season and they need to stop prolonging it. I'm not a fan of them prolonging this season. I'll say that right now. But let's get to this finale. How was this finale overall? I was looking forward to it. I was. I mean, I was happy with the final three. Who the final three were. Cody and Derrick were both very deserving. I liked their, friendship throughout the whole season, and especially Derrick. Derrick just such an amazing player, and we'll talk about why. But overall, how was this finale? This was a mediocre finale. There were a lot of things I liked about it, a lot of things that I wish would have been done differently, and we're going to talk about it. First of all, let me talk about one of the things that happened in this episode. This finale was incredibly rushed. Incredibly rushed. I understand they want to pair it with Survivor, because Survivor is their other big reality show. I understand that, but they need to somehow next year make this longer, because this finale was very rushed. There were a lot of things that was very rushed, and I was not a fan of that. So, I'm going to say that right away, and I'll talk about why in a second, but let's just get to it. So, we go back to the final HOH competition, and basically they're all hanging on for their life and everything, and, basically, they're all hanging on to that thing, basically, and you can see that Victoria is slipping, definitely. Derrick says if Victoria wins, this is going to be a disaster for his game, because obviously he doesn't want Victoria to win. He wants to win, obviously. This is what he wants to do. So, basically, basically what ended up happening is that there was a 3-part HOH competition, and we see basically who they would take with them, and basically we see that Victoria falls off first. Basically, that's no shock. She fell off first, and Cody and Derrick are in a tie, and for a while it seemed like Derrick was going to convince Cody to throw the competition, but he was just really sore and everything, so Cody ended up winning part 1. So I was happy for him. I was happy that he won part 1. I thought that was good that he won part 1. So basically the plan is just what they've planned, basically, for Derrick to take Cody. There's no other strategizing here because we've known what they want to do. So I thought that was really cool that they knew what they wanted to do. They didn't have any last minute strategizing to do. They knew what they wanted to do right away. I thought that was really awesome. So then basically what ended up happening was that we then get to the second part of the HOH competition. Yes, I know, very, very rushed. Right away, very rushed. Usually we have something in between these two competitions, but this was extremely rushed. More so than last year's. Last year's was so rushed as well, but this one was even more rushed. I felt like it was way too rushed. There were more commercials than there were show. There were. I'm kind of sick and tired of Big Brother going to commercial after someone wins a competition. Like, they won a competition, can I see something else? Like, I'm not a fan of them doing that. I understand it's Big Brother, they need to do that, but, like, I'm not a fan of them going to commercial so much. I'm not. Basically, we get to the next competition, which is always the same. Every final HOH Part 2 competition is always going to be the same. However, they changed it up a little bit this year, which I liked. Instead of it being the order in which they were evicted, it was which 2 house guests were were nominated, and you have to put in that order. So, I like Derrick's strategy. Derrick knew what he was doing. He was very good with that. And Victoria had the funniest strategy. She was just like, the people I don't recognize, I'm just going to look at the people I don't remember as well, and I thought that was a good strategy, but we knew Victoria was not going to win. Like, seriously, Victoria's not going to win. Obviously, she's not going to win. And, basically, Derrick ends up winning part 2, which, again, was the plan. That was the plan, basically, and basically their plan's going pretty well at this point. So, Cody says he wants this one, and Derrick says he doesn't feel confident after being Victoria. Basically, we then see But we then, oh, the other great thing to hear is that, of course, Derrick talked about how it was great that he was never nominated. I mean, it really is fantastic how he was never nominated. So after this happens, we do get to see the jury. You know, we do get to see the jury, and here's my thing about the jury. I understand last year they needed Dr. Will. I understand they brought Dr. Will in last year because the jury didn't really have much of a brain last year. The jury was full of really annoying people. Amanda, who honestly is not that bad now. If you watch her YouTube videos, she is not as bad as everyone thinks she is, but, like, they did not know how to play the game last year. They didn't. This year, I did not feel like they needed Dr. Will. I felt like he did not need to be in there because they seemed to know what they were doing without Dr. Will's help. I do not understand why they needed Dr. Will in there. I mean, honestly, the only reason they have Dr. Will in there is so older viewers will continue to watch the show. Is because people have given up on Big Brother, they've left it, and people are saying, look, this is how you get back to watching Big Brother, we'll bring Dr. Will back, and I'm all for them bringing back Dr. Will. He is a great player. He is one of the best players of this game, probably the best, in my opinion. Either him or Dan, definitely. Either him or Dan, definitely. But I really felt like he did not need to be there with the jury. The jury knew what they were doing. They were having really good conversation, and, like, what was wrong with Dr. Will? Even mentioning Victoria winning was like, what are you doing, Dr. Will? Here's the thing I like about Dr. Will, though. He never states his opinion. He never says, look, this is what I want to happen. This is what I think should happen. He never states that. He just he just guides the jury. The jury did not need guidance this year. The only person that really needed guidance was Frankie. But that's because Frankie's just so egotistical and so into himself that he really needed guidance. Jocasta, I don't know what was wrong with her. Jocasta's talking about how she's like, oh, if Victoria wins, I will definitely vote for her because she's a girl and everything. So I thought that was really stupid. Like, seriously, Jocasta is one of those people that just votes for personal reasons, and I really found that stupid. Yeah, so there's her, Jocasta, I don't know. I just don't really like Jocasta that much. And that was even, like, very, rushed. Definitely very rushed. I did like what, Christine said, though. Christine suddenly got a brain in this episode. I have not been a fan of Christine at all. And she seemed very smart in this episode. She had a very good strategy. I agree what she said. It's really about who played the best social game. Think about it. Cody and Derrick, they both played very good social games, but Cody was basically Derrick's puppet master. I agree with that. Cody did all of the damage control for Derrick, so no one suspected Derrick. All this time, who did people suspect? Frankie, Caleb, Zach. No one ever suspected Derrick. Everyone was on Derrick's good side, and it's really amazing how he went through the whole game and never was he nominated. That's never happened in the history of Big Brother, and that's just amazing, the way he did that. I find that so awesome, how he did that. It's so good. Just really amazing stuff there. So, then, basically, what ends up happening, and, so then after the jury and everything, we see that, basically, it's time for part 3 of the Final HOH competition, and this was very, very long. This is why it was so rushed, because the Final HOH competition was like 10 minutes long, and I understand these were not easy questions. It was one where, it's always the same. It's what the jury, it's questions from the jury, what the jury are saying, like, oh, Caleb said, my favorite moment is, or Nicole said, that my favorite moment is, things like that. Frankie talks about the fatal error, and, Cody ends up winning. I thought that was surprising. I was expecting Derrick to win because he's really good with these type of competitions, but Cody ended up winning. I was happy for him. I mean, Cody's definitely a good player, so I was happy for him with that. But I expected Derrick to win. I thought that was definitely very interesting that Cody ended up winning. So I was a little bit surprised with that, definitely. So, basically, right away, Julie congratulates him and says he'll win at least second place, and Derrick victorious in the nomination chairs, and basically he, right away, he really feels bad about what he has to do, but he has to make a really tough decision, and it's not a tough decision at all, because from day 2, Derrick and him had a final 2 deal, so obviously you knew he was going to take Derrick to the final 2, and Victoria ends up, being sent to the jury. She heads out she heads out, and barely any applause. It was literally like a golf clap. It was like, woo, Victoria, yay. That's literally what it was like. It was like a golf clap, because I understand what Victoria said, okay? She was a good player in some way, okay? A good strategy is to float around. That is a good strategy. There are different ways to play Big Brother. There are. Victoria, though, did not have much of a strategy. She said to Zach that she feels that she was at summer camp. That is embarrassing. I mean, seriously. She literally admitted to Zach that she thought she was at summer camp. That's what she thought this was. She didn't realize that she was playing a very serious game that could win her a lot of moolah. She didn't realize that. What she thought she was at a summer camp, and I thought that was really dumb and really funny, actually. So it really makes me laugh that people really thought Victoria could win this game. It really does, because we all knew she wouldn't. And I mean, I'm fine with Victoria leaving. I like her as a person. I think she's a good person. I have no issues with her. She's just... Damn, she needs to get a brain. Like, seriously. Get your brain on, Victoria, because she lost so many competitions. She never won anything. She was nominated 9 times, and just... Again, that is a strategy, to be nominated a bunch of times and not go anywhere. I don't think she was nominated as much as Spencer last year. Spencer, I believe, has the record for the most nominations out of any house guest ever. But she was nominated a lot, so definitely, you know, I give that to her, but at the same time, she did not play the game at all. She didn't play the game. So then the jury comes in, and she introduces Victoria very quickly, and Julian tells them that Cody is the final HOH, and he evicted Victoria, not Derrick, and obviously not Derrick, and then they ask questions, and we get some very interesting questions here. Christine asks Derrick, they all feel like he sent them home even though he denied it, and he stands and tells her he played behind the scenes to orchestrate and avoid blowback, and Frankie says they feel that Derrick has been the puppet master and he the puppet, and that really does make sense if you think about it. You know, Cody's really been Derrick's puppet while he's kind of been the puppet master. In fact, there is a photo that is very popular on Twitter, and it has Derrick dressed as the Godfather, and you see like this, you know, the strings from like the Godfather poster, and that's supposed to be Cody, and it says the Hitman on it. So I definitely agree with what he said. Definitely Derrick has definitely been, you know, controlling Cody basically to be his puppet. Cody has been his puppet the entire game. Even though Cody has made his own decisions, and he's a smart guy. I'm not saying Cody's not a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. He is a very nice guy. He's a very smart guy. He knows what he's doing in the game. When he was HOH, he knew what he was doing, okay? He knew what he wanted to do. But every time that he made a decision, he always went to Derrick. There was not one time where he did not go to Derrick. There was not one time that happened. Not one. So then, basically, Caleb stands and tells Derrick that they all feel he used their family to manipulate them and asks if it crossed the line, and Derrick says his family means the world to them and he never used them as a strategy, and, you know, they ask questions and everything, and, basically, Victoria asked a very good question. You know, she asked Derrick if he would have been loyal to her to the end, and he tells her that he remained loyal to her as long as he could without impacting his gameplay. And he said if he took her to the end, he would have lost jury votes, but says they will always be friends, because it's true. I mean, this jury, they probably would have wanted Victoria to win. Just from the comment that Jocasta said, I think that they probably would have voted for Victoria. Because they all vote as a jury. Again, this was all what the house wants, which is fine, but I'm kind of tired of the what the house wants, okay? I understand that Derrick, you know, wanted it to be what the house wants. He wanted it to be an equal vote. He wanted it to be unanimous. And when it wasn't unanimous, he found a way for it not to be unanimous. Which, again, Derrick controlled everything. Literally everything. He controlled when it was unanimous. He controlled when it wasn't unanimous. He controlled all that stuff. He really had the final say there. So then, basically, it's time for them to vote. And Julie tells Cody that he gives a really good speech about how he's not a puppet master. He seemed kind of pissed at them because they think of him as just some puppet. I understand Cody's a little bit upset, but he seemed kind of pissed about that. Derrick's speech I thought was really good. It was really quick, and yeah, I thought that was definitely good. I loved some of the things that they said when they were asking who to vote for. Zach accidentally revealed he was voting for Derrick. That was awesome. You know, Zach's just like, I really like New Jersey, but I love Rhode Island. And, Julie's like, can you please try not to reveal your vote? I thought that was really funny, what he said, because it's like, I don't think anyone's ever done that. Zach really is just an I don't give a fuck player. He is. He, all summer long, he has been I don't give a fuck mode. He doesn't care what happens to him. He doesn't. And I'll talk about why. You know, there's something he said later in the episode that was really funny, in my opinion. Definitely Zach was one of the most fun players to watch. You know, definitely really fun. Donny says he hates that he left his Skittles at home. Because remember, Donny was evicted because of a Skittle vote, if you remember. Yeah. So yeah, basically they all cast their votes, and then the voting is complete. And then we get to the part of the episode that kind of pissed me off, because usually now this is the point where they bring back the 5 players that were evicted before the jury. And usually they ask them a couple questions, and when this special, you know, when this finale used to be 2 hours long, they would ask them each questions. You know, you would get to hear what they think. And I was thinking they would ask it, you know, she would ask a couple people questions, mainly Amber, about the Amber and Caleb showmans, but especially Devin. She did not ask one person a thing, and I was really upset about that, because I understand they had to keep things moving, but literally these 5 were just there to watch. And again, they're not the jury. They don't have to be there. They could be at home watching this on TV. They're not the jury. So, basically, you know, I thought that was interesting that happened. I was like, okay, we're just not gonna ask them anything. Okay, I guess they don't matter. Because literally, they didn't ask them a thing. And I would have at least, you know, expected her to ask Devin a question, because Devin was a huge part of the game. He really was, especially at the beginning of the game. He controlled a lot of things in this game, so I at least expected her to ask Devin a question, and she didn't. So, and instead what they talk about is Team America. They finally revealed Team America. I thought it was amazingly done, the way they revealed it. I really liked the way they revealed it. You know, definitely really good. You could see the reactions on the jury's face. It was really funny. And especially when Julie asked Zach. I love Zach's response. You know, she says, why did you tell everyone that you were Amanda's cousin? And he simply says, I love his response. He just says, I was bored, you know? I wasn't having enough fun in the house, so I was bored. I probably would have done the same thing, honestly. If someone would have started a rumor about me, I probably would have just wanted to make it true. It's Big Brother. It's just fun to do that. It's fun to fuck with people like that. And Zach is one of those players that just likes to fuck with people. He does. So I thought that was a lot of fun to watch. And it really just shows how, you know, funny and, you know, how funny Zach really is. Really. He was hilarious all summer, and just really, really funny stuff there. And then, of course, we get the reveal of Derrick telling everyone that he's a cop. I thought it was good that he told them. I was really happy that he finally told them, but did we really need to have, like, 5 minutes about this? Like, we did not need to see his, like, you know, Julie's like, and to prove it, here is his casting tape. I did not need to see that. Like, you could have been asking Devin and Amber questions, but we had to see his casting tape. I just felt this was, you know, prolonged way too much, that they didn't have enough time to ask them anything. I wish they would have made this at least 2 hours. Next year, they need to make this 2 hours, because this was incredibly rushed, and I thought it was disrespectful to them, honestly. You know, you bring them back on the show, and they're basically just props. They were just props. They stood there. They did nothing, and that's what they were. They were props. So I thought that was really annoying, and that's really the only big complaint I have. That was just really annoying to me, what happened there. Really, I was annoyed by that. So, yeah, so I was kind of annoyed by what happened there. And then it's time, of course, to reveal the winner. And Derrick ends up winning. And, of course, I was very happy that Derrick won. He definitely deserves that win. Definitely he deserves that win. Like, seriously, as I said, he has never been nominated, ever. So, that's just amazing how he did it. And the fact that he kept, you know, his secret as a cop hidden for so long, and the way he used that to manipulate every single one of them, and they didn't even realize it, was genius gameplay. And I agree with what Nicole said. He basically is the next Dan Giesling. Dan did more things. It was kind of obvious that he was doing it, sort of. Derrick did things in a very sly way, in a much more quiet way, while Dan did things in a more louder way. They're just different ways they played it, but they sort of played it in the same way if you think about it. Even though Dan hates, you know, doesn't want to admit it, Derrick did kind of play the same game as him, in a way. Okay, they're in no way alike, like their personalities, but the way they play the game is definitely sort of the same. So, then it's time to you know, basically, then it's time to reveal America's favorite, and we find out that it is Donny, and I was very happy for Donny. You can see the look on his face. He's just so shocked that they have to literally walk him over. He was just so shocked. It was hilarious to watch, and it was great to see, because Donny's been a great player. He really has. He just has such a big heart, and the thing is, though, does he really need all that money? Because he's going to be on a soap opera, so does he really need all that money? Even though it's not going to last him that long, maybe he'll have enough money to, you know, say to them, hey, I want to be a bigger role. Here's my money. I don't know what he's going to do, and I love Julie asked Derrick what he's going to do with the money, and Derrick says, you know, it's up to my wife. She's the boss here, and I thought that was really funny. And, yeah, overall, that was the finale. Let's talk about the season overall. Guys, this has been a very long, mediocre season, okay? We've had a lot of really good things about the season, a lot of really bad things about the season. Mainly, Frankie and a couple other people really annoyed me this season. Derrick never annoyed me, okay? Derrick annoyed me only a couple times, but the thing is, the only reason Derrick annoyed me was basically because of Frankie. That's pretty much why. The only person that annoyed me the most this season is Frankie, who still annoys me. Unlike other people, he still annoys me. Christine does not annoy me anymore. I liked her in this episode. I liked the questions that she asked. She suddenly got a brain, which I liked, because she had, when did this come? I just want to know, when did this appear? Because we have not seen this all season. Why does Christine all of a sudden have a brain? I don't know what just happened to her in that jury house, but something happened. We've had really bad players like Victoria and Jocasta, who no one's going to remember. And really, Derrick just is amazing. We've had amazing players like Nicole and Zach and Donny. And I was very happy when Julie said those three were the ones that were picked the most for America's favorite player. Because the thing is, they really were the highlights of the season. Besides Derrick and his amazing gameplay, those three were the most fun to watch. They really were. They were the most fun to watch. They were the ones that I found myself so engaged in, and I liked watching them. Even though someone wins, really, Big Brother is also about, you know, what's fun to watch, and really, that was fun to watch. Now, let's talk about some things they did not do right this season. We did not need to make this season 40 episodes. These house guests were in the house for 97 days. That's pushing it. That is just pushing it, because, seriously, I don't know how they did it. I would not be able to be in a house away from everyone from 97 days. I wouldn't be able to make YouTube videos for you guys for 97 days. I don't know how you guys would feel about that. I don't know how you would. So really, next season, we gotta cut it down. We really gotta cut it down. Also, we need to prolong the finale a little bit more. I felt like some things dragged on too much. Like, for example, the Derrick being a cop reveal. That dragged on way too much. We did not need that much information about Derrick being a cop. I thought that was a little too much we got there. We should have gotten more of Julie talking to, say, Devin or Amber, because those two were fun to watch, and they did play a big role this season. Devin in... Basically, you know, he was the big player in the first half of the season, and Amber with Caleb. We didn't see that really much either, so I wish we would have seen more of that, and it was just kind of rushed in my opinion. Overall, though, this season's been better than last season. Definitely better than last season. Oh, definitely better than last season. It's been a lot more entertaining. If this was last season, I wouldn't have given a fuck, because last season I didn't care who won, and this season I did care, because we had good players in the final three, definitely, and I like that. So yeah, overall, this season has been really good, and I've really liked it. I just hope we don't get someone else like Frankie, and honestly, don't get me wrong, here's the thing about Frankie. If he wasn't as self-centered and rude as he was, I probably would have liked him as a player, you know? He's a nice guy, he's fun to watch, he is fun to watch. When he's not being obnoxious and rude, he was fun to watch, definitely. The first half of the season, I thought he was going to be a fun guy, and he just ended up really disappointing me, because I really do respect Ariana Grande. After this, I don't respect her so much, but I really did respect her, and now I don't as much, and, you know, Frankie, I thought was a good player till he started to become very self-centered, and I really hope he matures with that. I was happy to see Christine's mature a little bit. That was cool to see, and I like seeing everyone back, and I really agree with what a lot of people said. If you think about this, cast is going to be extremely close. They were applauding for each other when they got up. They were applauding so much, and you could see that. You know, they were applauding for each other when they got up to cast votes. I mean, this cast is going to be extremely close, definitely. But overall, that's my review of this season of Big Brother. Let me know what you guys saw this season. I'm just happy that it's over because I don't have to review it for you guys anymore. Honestly, guys, out of all the shows I've had to review, this has been the hardest show to review. Really, it has been. I've never been, it's never been this hard to review Big Brother. It's been so hard to review Big Brother this season. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for The Bridge. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.